Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Also thank my colleague, Ms. Lee, for her guidance. I think we're in alignment here on what we have to do and look forward to a productive way of seeing that through. This amendment, Mr. Chair, would direct DHS to make much-needed improvements to the cybersecurity training provided to CFATS inspectors. In the current dynamic threat environment, we need a cadre of well-equipped, well-trained chemical security inspectors to ensure that the program is effective. When a CFATS inspector is on site at a chemical plant, they must be able to assess whether that facility is in compliance with every single one of the security measures under its plan. Some security controls, like guards and gates, are easier to spot than an unpatched software vulnerability or an inadequate cyber incident response plan. When it comes to cybersecurity, inspectors need to be trained as to what to look for. And if they don't know what to look for, they probably won't find it. Yet, for at least the last 5 years, CFATS inspectors have been sounding the alarm about the lack of cyber training available to them. This lack of training prevents them from conducting real cyber audits and reduces compliance inspections to little more than a box-checking exercise. In 2019, Jesse LaGrosse, the AFG union representative for CFATS inspectors, testified that the closest thing to cyber training that inspectors received was some instruction on how to fill out the cyber portions of the inspection report. Even then, in most cases, the questions that inspectors were directed to pose to facilities were woefully inadequate. For example, they were directed to ask, does the facility have a cybersecurity policy, and can they say if they've implemented that policy? These surface-level questions reveal nothing about a facility's cyber posture and should give us no confidence that these high-risk facilities are doing what it needs to be done to prevent cyber criminals from taking over their infrastructure. In 2020, GAO validated the inspectors' complaints about the lack of cyber training and said that DHS should do more to understand if its training programs are working. DHS has repeatedly said it will expand cybersecurity training for inspectors, but little has changed. In May, at the hearing that Chairman Garbarino held, Mr. LaGrosse told this committee that the only improvement DHS made to its chemical inspector training program is a 3-session workshop in 2020, and even that course repeated information from a free online course inspectors had taken previously. My amendment would mandate training on cybersecurity and all aspects of the risk-based performance standards. This language is not new. In fact, it was passed out of the committee in 2019 when we last moved a CFATS reauthorization bill. It wasn't controversial then. I hope it's not controversial now. I urge my colleagues to support this needed amendment and yield back.
Gentleman yields. Does anyone else wish to speak on the amendment? If there is no further debate, the question is on agreeing to the amendment in the nature of a substitute.